Hello, I'm Mukala Kabongo, and on this edition of the LCTV News, Massachusetts students score high ACT scores, MBTA commuter rail staircase deemed unsafe, Lynn resident in need of kidney candidate forum, and more. On the Lynn Lowdown, we talk the laces of Lynn with Kevin Orlosky. Here's this week's LCTV News for Friday, October 22nd, 2021.
This episode of the LCTV News is brought to you by Columbia Insurance Agency, serving the Lynn community for over 60 years with home, auto, and business insurance.
Earlier this week, the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education announced students in the graduating class of 2021 in Massachusetts had the highest composite score in the nation on the ACT test. Public and private high school graduates from the class of 2021 in Massachusetts who took the ACT had an average composite score of 27.6 out of a possible 36. This is an increase from last year's average of 26.0. The average composite score in Massachusetts was 27.9, which is 7 points higher than the national average of 20.3. 70% of Massachusetts graduates met the 4 ACT college readiness benchmarks, which is up from 59% from last year. Massachusetts students also had the highest percentage of 2021 ACT takers. Students met the math, science, and reading benchmarks and tied with Connecticut for the highest percentage for the English benchmark. Over the weekend, the MBTA commuter rail garage staircase was deemed unsafe and will be closing for the present and near future. A spokesperson for the MBTA says the staircase 1 and 2 at the Lynn garage were closed due to structural concerns. The garage elevator continues to be available as an alternative. The spokesperson also says they are in the process of installing barrier fencing, and they are also performing further evaluations and will provide updates as they become available. LCTV reached out to Mayor McGee's office for a comment, but have yet to receive one at this time. We will give an update once we hear back from the mayor's office. A Lynn resident is in need of a kidney donor. Brandon Langley is dealing with kidney failure, and his family is asking for assistance. The family was informed about a month ago that Langley was in complete kidney failure and he may not survive unless he gets a donor. Those who are interested should visit www.leahy/livingdonor.org and fill out the health questionnaire. The 34-year-old is known as a stand-up guy according to his family. Langley coaches football and is a professional wrestler. Last week, U.S. Rep. Seth Moulton announced the North Shore fire departments across the state will receive over $5 million in assistance to firefighters grants from FEMA to update equipment, buildings, and education for firefighters in the North Shore and Merrimack Valley regions. Approximately $1 million of the grant money will go towards Lynn, Nahant, Salem, and Swampscott. According to Lynn Fire Department Chief Stephen Archer, the Lynn Fire Department received two grants. The department will use $293,600 for vehicle acquisition grant to purchase a new ambulance for paramedic firefighters. The second grant of that totaled $135,565 will be used for operations and safety and will also be used for personal escape devices that will help save firefighters' lives in the line of duty. The Lynn Safe Streets for People project is picking up steam. After construction of the northern strand began in 2020, the city has progressed in creating bus lanes and bike lanes. The Safe Streets project is aiming to sustain the momentum with various initiatives. The city has partnered with the Massachusetts Department of Transportation, community stakeholders, and the public. The City of Lynn will identify priority streets for improvement and develop strategies to support the creation of a safe network. The city has also partnered with Lynn Economic Opportunities to help lead the ground engagement for the Lynn Safe Streets for People initiative. This past summer, Leo staff met with the public, collected surveys, and shared incentives by the Solomon Foundation. Last night at the Brotherhood, the Community Minority Culture Center hosted a candidate forum night, and LCTV was in attendance.
Important times, election year in the city of Lynn, and we have a number of qualified candidates here this evening, and they're here to make their pitch as to why they're going to be the best candidate for either the school committee, city council ward races, council at large, or the mayor's race. All right, we're trying to schedule this to start. I'll just give you what our schedule was. 6 o'clock for the school committee candidates, 7 o'clock for the ward councilors, and 8 o'clock for the mayor's race. All right? So that's the schedule we're going with. We're going to try to be as respectful as we can for people's time. So again, we're going to start at 6:20, and we're going to start with the school committee. I'm just going to read you the format that we're going to go by, so just people are abreast of what we're trying to do. All right, the basic ground rules that we have is that we're going to be respectful of one another, and there's going to be no personal questions about anyone's family. All right, that's not asking too much. I think that the issues will speak for themselves, and we're just going to stick to the issues this evening to try to get a constituency the best possible idea they have for the candidate that they may want to vote for.
To watch the full ceremony, visit LynnTV.org. The New Lynn Coalition held their candidate forum Wednesday night at the Lynn Museum, featuring mayoral candidates and councilor at large.
I believe I should get one of your full votes November 2nd because I'm hardworking. I have an actual plan to involve each and every single resident in Lynn. I can communicate in 4 languages, and I haven't given up. A lot of the issues that we're talking about now were issues that our campaign and my people, the people that we've been working with, brought up. So we haven't switched up. We've been fighting hard for you all, and we are prioritizing you, the people. So please give me one of your full votes November 2nd. Thank you.
I am humbly asking for one of your full votes on November 2nd because I bring a different perspective to our local government. As I said in the beginning, I am a woman, I am a veteran, I am an entrepreneur. I have already been doing the work in this city. I've helped with bringing the body cameras to our police department. I'm currently helping with the unarmed crisis response team, and I want to continue doing that work. So please, give me one of your votes November 2nd, Nicole McLean. Thank you.
I don't think I've ever done anything in 30 seconds, but here we go. Brian LaPierre, Councilor at Large, please consider me for one of your 4 votes on November 2nd. I'm a hard worker. I'm honest. I'm just like you. I respond to constituent concerns. I work well with my colleagues. I listen. I learn. I lead. I love this city. I'm born and raised here. I have 2 kids in the public schools. My wife's a teacher. I believe in your values. I believe in everything that you have done and that was displayed here tonight, the New Lynn Coalition and all of your partners. Thank you so much.
To watch the full forum, visit LynnTV.org. This past Monday, LCTV hosted a candidate forum featuring candidates running for councilor at large. Here's more from the forum. I'm your host, Mukala Kabongo, and for the next hour and some change, you, the audience, will be hearing the candidates running for councilor at large. So before we get started, here are some of just the basic rules. Each candidate has 90 seconds to respond to a question, and at the end, each candidate has 2 minutes to respond for their closing statements, I should say, 2 minutes for their closing statement. Also, candidates will be notified when they have 30 seconds left and when they have 10 seconds left. So that is just the housekeeping here. I hope everyone is ready. We have some great questions lined up for you all, and we also have some questions lined up from the community. So to watch the full forum, be sure to visit LynnTV.org. LCTV was present at Arts After Hours after party following their short and scary show. Here's more.
So, not scary. Definitely gross and disgusting, but not scary.
The bed was out for 15 minutes and nowhere.
There was a mouse!
Oh God, where? I love mice. You didn't scare it, did you?
God, you were so worried for me!
Well, it's a stupid old house. It's not like anyone died here.
How do you know?
My aunt sells real estate. She said it's just a bunch of ridiculous rumors.
So you were worried?
Just in case.
In case what?
In case Matt wasn't actually full of crap for once.
Give him a break.
Why?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe because he's my boyfriend?
He's a jerk.
Yeah, you might have mentioned that once or twice before.
Cool. 2 minutes. 13 more to go. No problem.
We only win the bet if we walk all around. Supposedly nobody has made it past a few minutes.
Says Matt.
Give him a break. Why would he make it up? I mean, he's the one who has to buy both our concert tickets if we win. And if we lose, all we have to do is...
You don't have to do anything. I just had to go on a stupid date with his gross friend. There is literally nothing that would make me leave this house in less than 15 minutes.
What was that?
I don't know. Creaking?
You heard it too?
Yeah, I'm standing right next to you.
But there's no one else here.
It's an old house. There's probably like trees growing through the roof and squirrels and God knows what else in here. 15 minutes. We can do it. Come on. We have to walk around.
That's not a squirrel. That's not funny. It's not a normal sound. I'm leaving.
No way.
Come on.
You don't have to deal with creepy Craig and all the stupid puns.
Abby.
Rattling chains. Seriously, Madison.
Is that what that was?
That's what it sounded like to me. Aren't you just a little suspicious?
Yeah, that there's ghosts.
It's just Matt. Calm down.
What?
It's Matt. It's one of those haunted house soundtrack things you play at Halloween.
No
Next
way.
we're gonna hear some booing or something. My brother played that one last year at his party.
Matt!
What? Are we seriously going to let him get away with this?
Of course not.
Exactly. Now he must be around here somewhere.
No, actually, he doesn't have to be here. I know what he'd do. He'd set his mom's Alexa speaker on remotely. He pranks her all the time when she's home alone playing burping and farting sounds.
He never fails to meet the extremely low bar I've set for him.
It's kind of funny.
You think it's funny that he's setting me up with a friend since junior high who's picked his nose and never lifts his eyes above my boobs?
I don't like that.
See? It bugs you when he does it to me, but you don't notice it when he does it to you.
Definitely a free download.
He's probably waiting for you to come running home so he can take you in his big manly arms and comfort you. And while your resistance is down...
Let's be real, I never really resist him.
TMI! Okay, what's the plan? Wait. If he's using his Alexa, he may have it sent on intercom mode, so he'll be able to hear us if we get near it. We have to spread out and search.
And now for the sports update. Lynn Classical boys soccer team got a much-needed win last night against rival Lynn English to keep their postseason hopes alive. The Rams scored 2 goals in the final 6 minutes minutes to escape with the 3-2 victory. After the Bulldogs took the 2-1 lead, it would be Elzon Hamelini who would tie the game on a penalty kick. Shortly after, Jair Alvarez's goal would break the 2-2 tie. The Rams, now one win away from a postseason berth, will host Somerville on Monday for a chance to clinch a playoff spot. The Bulldogs, meanwhile, will take on Malden on Wednesday. Lynn English and Lynn Classical girls soccer matchup ended in a 0-0 draw Thursday night. Before the game, the Rams honored their 12 seniors and the Bulldogs honored their 9 seniors. The Lady Rams, who recently captured the Greater Boston League title, are now 14-0-3 on the season and will face Somerville on Wednesday. The St. Mary's Lady Spartans fell to Arlington Catholic last night 1-0. With just 3 games remaining in the season, St. Mary's needs to win 2 out of the 3 to clinch a playoff berth. Earlier this week, KIPP Academy senior Marco Escobar scored his 100th career goal in the Panthers' 9-1 victory over Innovation Academy. It was also senior night for 4 KIPP players who have been instrumental in helping build the program. Congratulations to Marco Escobar on his accomplishment. Lynn Tech boys soccer improved to 11-3-1 after defeating Greater Lowell 1-0 in stoppage time this week. It will be Gregory Amisi who would knock in the game-winning goal that would help the Tigers escape with the victory. Tech has some time off before they get back on the field to take on Neshoba Valley Tech next Thursday. Lynn Tech Lady Tigers got a big win earlier this week as well when they defeated Notre Dame Academy 5-0. Helen Poihoy had an outstanding day for the Lady Tigers as she scored all 5 goals for Tech. Goalkeeper Cindy De Leon had her second shutout of the season. The Lady Tigers will look to keep the momentum going today when they take on Mystic Valley. St. Mary's football team remains undefeated on the season after their 41-7 victory over Arlington Catholic last Friday night. Before the game, the Spartans held a celebration for their 7 seniors. Quarterback Ali Berry had a big day as he threw for 2 touchdowns and ran for 1 as well. His first touchdown came in the first quarter when he found Jack Marks for a 16-yard touchdown reception to put the Spartans up 14-0. Barry would follow that up with a 25-yard touchdown pass to Nick Sacco that made it 21-0. After a Donovan Clark rushing touchdown, Barry would take a quarterback keeper to the end zone to make it 35-0 Spartans. On defense, Barry would end Arlington Catholic's drive with an interception right before the half. The Spartans will look to go 6-0 tonight when they take on Cardinal Spellman. Lynn Classical bounced back following last week's disappointing performance against Everett with the 32-0 shutout of Malden Saturday afternoon. After a 3-and-out on their first drive, the Rams marched down the field on their second possession that was capped off with a Brian Vaughn Jr. touchdown run. After the Rams defense forced a turnover, the offense struck quickly as Vaughn found Kyle Durant wide open down the seam for the touchdown to make it 16-0. Vaughn Jr. would throw his second touchdown of the game when he found Marquise Avery in the back of the end zone that would make it 24-0 Rams. The Rams, now 4-2 in the season, are back on the field tonight when they host Milton. KIPP Academy moved to 5-1 on the season after their 52-45 victory over Neshoba last Friday night. Quarterback Juan Settle Singh had an outstanding night as the junior quarterback threw for 443 yards and threw for 6 touchdowns and ran for a touchdown. Receiver J-Team M totaled 265 yards receiving and caught 4 touchdowns. KIPP is back on the road Saturday when they take on Minuteman. Lynn Tech has now won 2 in a row after defeating South Shore Tech 28-16 Saturday afternoon at Manning Field. It was the Tigers' ground attack that was the story of the game as they rushed for 297 yards. Quarterback Ethan Prum led the rushing attack as he ran for 110 yards to go along with 2 touchdowns. Tech's running backs used their physicality to wear down the opposition. Ragnar Naval rushed for 84 yards and a touchdown, while Dominique Giordano and Gabino Melendez each had over 50 rushing yards on the day. The Tigers will look to get to 500 tonight when they take on Neshoba Tech. Boston College dropped its second game of the season this past Saturday as they fell 33-7 to the 22nd ranked North Carolina State Wolfpack. After tying the game up at 7 on an 8-yard touchdown pass from Dennis Grosso to Trey Berry, it was all Wolfpack. NC State would use a third-quarter surge to pull away from the Eagles as they scored 21 third-quarter points to go up 31-7. The Wolfpack shut out the Eagles the last 3 quarters of the game. The Eagles will look to bounce back on Saturday when they take on Louisville. The Boston Red Sox are on the verge of elimination after their 9-1 loss to the Houston Astros in the American League Championship Series matchup. The bats were silent for the Sox as they managed only 3 hits. Wednesday night, the Astros used a 5-run 6th inning to pull away from the Sox. Sox pitcher Chris Sale went 5 innings, striking out 7 batters. The Sox will look to force a Game 7 tonight. First pitch is set for 8 p.m. The New England Patriots fell to 0-4 at home after falling 35-29 in overtime to the Dallas Cowboys. In the fourth quarter, with the Pats up 21-20, it would be the Cowboys defense that would come up with the big play when Trayvon Diggs intercepted Mac Jones and took it to the house to give the Cowboys the 26-21 lead. Jones would respond on the ensuing possession as he connected with Kendrick Bourne on a 75-yard touchdown pass to give the Pats the 29-26 lead. The Pats defense had the chance to seal the victory, but quarterback Dak Prescott would find CeeDee Lamb on the 3rd and 25 to get the Cowboys into field goal position. Greg Zuerlein would send the game into overtime on a 49-yard field goal. In overtime, the Cowboy defense would stop the Patriots' offense, and Dak Prescott would once again find CeeDee Lamb. This time, it would be for the game-winning touchdown pass to give the Cowboys their 5th win of the season. The Boston Celtics kicked off their season Wednesday night with a double overtime loss to the New York Knicks. Jaylen Brown set a Celtics record for most points in a season opener with his 46 points. Late in the fourth, Brown would knock down a 3 to cut the Knicks' lead to 1. After Julius Randle knocked down 2 free throws, Dennis Schroeder would find Marcus Smart, who would knock down the game-tying 3 to send the game to overtime. In the first overtime, both teams combined to make 7 three-pointers in a back-and-forth effort. The Celtics had a chance to win it, but Jason Tatum's shot would fall short. In double overtime, it would be Evan Fournier and Derrick Rose who would hit the big shots that would help the Knicks come out with a 134-138 victory. The Celtics are back on the court tonight for their home opener when they host the Toronto Raptors. On this week's Lynn Lowdown, we spoke with Kevin Orlosky. Here's this week's Lowdown. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Lynn Lowdown. And today we got a special guest. We got Mr. Kevin Orlosky here with us. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming along. It's busy times for you. You got so much going on right now with the Laces of Lynn. You got the workshops going. First, just talk to me about this whole process and this whole process for you.
Yes. So. I am creating a new sculpture here for Lynn in Central Square, right by the train station on Mount Vernon Street. And the goal of this piece is to engage with the community and try to represent as many people as possible as I can in it. The piece itself is this wave-like form that is formed out of shoelaces, fabricated in steel. And that represents the shoe-making history of Lynn, while also acts as like a symbol of a community connector. Yeah. But the way I want to tie it into the community is within all of the laces themselves are words, descriptive words that I'm asking people all throughout Lynn to submit a word that represents themselves, something that shows their uniqueness. And so that's what I'm doing here in Lynn, is going around and I'm doing some workshops with different organizations and trying to help people come up with a word that represents them. I'm going to take all these words and it'll be a part of the sculpture. And this whole process too, just being chosen to be the winner, because there was a pool of candidates that they had an opportunity to choose from. And you were the one that
that stuck out and got chosen. When you got that, and when you got that news that you were going to be the one to do this project, what was your initial reaction to that?
Oh, I was really excited because the whole process was a long process, and I poured a lot of myself into it, because when the whole idea, basically being able to spend so much time on it, I really kind of fell in love with the idea and learning about Lynn. I was like, got really into wanting to do it. And after all that whole process, once I was selected, it was really exciting for me, and I'm really happy and just really honored that I was selected for it.
Yeah, what got you into art and this career path that you chose? What got you into it?
Well, I've pretty much been an artist my whole life. I loved doing art as a kid, and it was just one of those things that the more I did, the more I realized this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. Figure out how to do it. My wife and I ran an arts nonprofit in Richmond, Virginia for a while, and we did a lot of community art projects through that, and that's what really developed my passion for public art and involving the community in it. So I've kind of grown from that and really honed in on doing public art with a community engagement focus.
Yeah, what's the most, I don't really say hard part, what's the most challenging part of doing public art, and that will tie into this project that you...
Yeah, a lot of times it is connecting with communities, and being the whole focus. It's both difficult and the part I love doing the best, because sometimes, if working with a community you're not already a part of, it's just sort of getting in and connecting with people, and just kind of getting out there, getting the message, out there. It's always the most challenging part, and getting people to be like, hey, this is cool. You can come up and engage. A lot of people end up being a little timid and whatnot, and so it's just really just trying to be encouraging and really trying to ignite people's imaginations and curiosities.
Would you say that would be the best part, is when you get the engagement from the community engagement and involvement?
Definitely. I mean, that's why one of the reasons why I find, community engagement in public art really important. And it also makes the art, a part of the community. It's the community has more pride and investment in the project when they see a part of themselves in it.
Yeah, and there's 3 workshops that are coming up. You have one coming up this weekend, another one on the 30th, and then another one on November 9th. I believe the one on the 30th is virtual. Well, one of them is virtual, correct?
Yes, this weekend I'll be doing in-person workshops to help people, just to help guide people to help come up with their words. It's going to be at the LynnArts building right across from the plaza where the sculpture is going. There will be 2, one at 1:30 and one at 3 o'clock. And anybody can sign up to join on the Lynn in Common website. And then if you're not comfortable being in person or not able to make it in person, I'll be doing 2 virtual ones next Saturday, October 30th, and Tuesday, November 9th.
Look, and there's a capacity for this upcoming weekend, correct?
Yeah, I'm just keeping it to 30 folks for each session. That way, trying to not make it really packed full of people, just to, for safety reasons.
Now that you've been in Lynn for a little period now, and what are have you taken a look around the city yet? Have you seen, some of the things that you would like to incorporate in this?
Yeah, I mean, I've really enjoyed walking around here. I love all the murals everywhere. There seems to be a lot of culture here, and it's really nice, like walking down, seeing all the different languages that are spoken here. So I want to really make sure all those languages get represented in the sculpture. Since it is language-based, language equity is, really important part of the sculpture.
Yeah.
So I do have a form that people can submit their word on the Lynn in Common website. So we have it in 5 different languages on there. So try to make it more accessible for folks.
Yeah, and today you are You have a presentation today at Raw Arts. Tell me a little about that presentation that you have today.
Yes, so I'm going to be doing a few engagements with Raw over the next month or so. And today I'm just presenting with all the team leaders and the staff about it, so I'm going to get words for them, and with the thought that some of them can take the presentation and work with their programs and the kids that they work with. And then next month I'll be back and working closely with a couple of the team leaders there with their groups. That they have two groups that work more focused on public art type stuff. So I'll be working directly with them, getting a little bit more involved, talking about my process and methodology with public art, and speaking like that, and having a conversation with the kids there in that realm.
With you being with art being your career path, can you just talk to me a little about? We've seen it in education that they've cut out art in the budget, and a lot of schools don't even have art classes anymore. Can you talk about why that's so important to have in school, like those art courses to have in school?
Well, for arts in schools, the main thing is like creativity and creative thinking, and art kind of transcends all subjects. If basically in our society today, like creative thinking is like almost a #1 skill you have to have. Just because that's where innovation comes from. That's what drives innovation, is creative thinking. And not everyone can become a professional artist, but being able to have those skills in creative thinking and looking at things differently is a great way to just be good at almost anything. And you can take the arts and use it almost in any subject.
Definitely, and everybody has a creative mind. It's just how they're able to express it. So art is one way to express it. Can you please tell everybody all the vital information, website, contact information that they would need to learn more if they want to be part of this project?
Yes. So the city has a new website called Lynn in Common. So if you go to LynnInCommon.com/Linstallation, that will take you to all information about this project, and has information on the workshops and a Google form to be able to submit your word. My website is orloskystudio.com if you want to see some of the past work I've done. And people, if they have any questions, can email me directly, kevin@orloskystudio.com.
All right, Kevin, man, appreciate you for coming. This is definitely a great thing that we're all interested to see how it comes out. I'm sure we'll have coverage on that. But once again, thank you for taking the time to come here and chat with us.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
All right, no problem. You all have been watching the Lynn Lowdown. Have a great day. And now time for local events from the community calendar. This Saturday, the Laces of Lynn will be holding a community workshop from 1 p.m. until 2 p.m. and from 2:30 p.m. until 3:30 p.m. at the Lynn Museum. The workshop is limited to 30 participants. No experience is necessary to participate in this workshop. Also this Saturday from 8 a.m. until 12 p.m., Lynn DPW will be hosting Cavanta Days. Residents can drop off household items such as TVs, unwanted household items, metal items, plastic rigid items, fluorescent light bulbs, and white goods. Residents who plan to drop items off at the Lynn DPW should bring their driver's license for identification. For more information, call 781-477-7099. This Saturday from 9 a.m. until 12 p.m., Ward 2 Councilor Rick Starbird, mayoral candidate Darren Sear, and school committee member Lorraine Gately will be hosting a cleanup at Keeney Park. Volunteers should meet at the basketball courts behind Lynn English High. Lynn DPW will provide brooms and rakes for volunteers For more information, contact Rick Stobbard at rick.stobbard@lynnmass.gov. On Saturday from 2:30 p.m. until 5 p.m., Pine Hill Haunted Happenings will be going on at Gallagher Park. Snacks, games, and a costume parade will be part of the day's events. This event is free and open to the public. On Sunday from 1 p.m. until 3 p.m., the Clark Street Playground Cleanup hosted by Lenny Pena, Jose Encarnacion, and Coco Allen Soon will be happening. All volunteers are advised to wear a mask and maintain social distance. The Lynn Public Library will be hosting the Adult Craft Pumpkin Painting on Monday from 6:30 p.m. until 7:30 p.m. Space is limited for this event. Those who are interested in participating should call 781-595-0567. To find out more about the community calendar, visit LynnTV.org. Thank you for watching the LCTV News. Make sure to subscribe to the LCTV Facebook page as well as the LCTV YouTube channel. Also visit LynnTV.org to watch any show at any time on your computer, phone, or tablet. I'm Mukala Kabongo. Have a great day.